Number 15, South Carolina at 9-3 versus number 20, Illinois 9-3 in the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. Uh, love it. Tuesday, December the 31st at 3 p.m. from Camping World Stadium in Orlando, Florida. So interesting note here. Luke Altmaier is the starting quarterback for Illinois. Does that name ring any bells?
It's a backup quarterback at Georgia a couple years ago, wasn't he?
If his name sounds familiar, remember he played for Ole Miss.
Oh, that's
That's
Yeah.
why.
right.
Yeah. So that's an interesting fact here. Don't overlook Illinois here, I think. Their only losses this year are to Penn State, Oregon, and then Minnesota. We can kind of ignore that one, I guess. But
Mm.
I expect this one to kind of follow the storyline that a lot of South Carolina games have taken this year, and that is they make plays to stay in the game the whole time, and then Lenora Sellers puts the team on his back and pulls away by more than a score this time to put the game away. So I'm going to say South Carolina 28-17 here. Jesse, what do you got?
Playing in Urbana-Champaign, where the Fighting Illini play in the middle of Illinois, is probably better than playing at Camping World Stadium in Orlando. What a terrible place. Um,
Yeah.
they could have found literally anywhere. They honestly play it in downtown Disney, just like make a
What
field.
is specifically so bad? Is it just a dingy,
It's an
It's
bad?
old
it's
it's an
It's
old
old.
old
rundown
and it's
stadium. It's
not
not a good
near
stadium.
it's not near anything.
Hmm.
It's out in
It's
the middle
just
of a field.
there. And
Yeah.
like the facilities aren't great. It's just bleh.
Yeah.
Like it's not good.
If I remember correctly, I think that bowl was built in the same. Like you remember back in like the '60s when they would make these bowls, or they'd make stadiums that were just in the middle of parking lots, and
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they had no sort of like personality at all. It's
You're talking
just a
about
field and some stands.
Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta. What
Exactly.
was
Kind
it
Yeah.
of,
That.
yeah.
Three Rivers
Yeah.
Stadium in Pittsburgh? There was yeah, I know what you mean. The
Yeah.
cookie
Uh,
cutter round bowl stadiums. Yes. Yeah.
yes. Yeah, it's. I'm pretty sure that's the time period that was built. So, or maybe not. Hold on. Continue.
No.
I'll get
And we're
back to
getting
you.
into the
It's just a
history of
terrible
stadium
place.
building.
Honestly, it's a terrible place. But I agree with you. I think the Illini are not necessarily something to snub. They certainly have lost to some top tier teams, and that's their only losses. But I do think that South Carolina is on that upswing. They have a lot of momentum, and I think they're able to put up quite a fight. I think Lenora Sellers, as long as he stays healthy in this game, is going to be a determining factor here. So I'm going to pick the Gamecocks in this one, 27-20.
All right. Matt, what you got?
Sorry, I got distracted looking at the architecture. By the way, they built that stadium in 1936. It was renovated in the 90s, but
It
Uh,
shows. It's very
it,
nice.
Gotcha.
it's a very old school stadium. Anyway, look, I have nothing good to say about Beamer. I never have. I probably never will. But let's be honest here. They've put a lot together over the last couple of weeks going into the end of the season. So
Mhm.
I like South Carolina's chances here. I think Illinois, again, I know I like to crap all over the Big Ten. It's kind of it's kind of a pastime of mine, just talking crap about the Big Ten. I don't care. Again, at me if you feel like talking about it. I'll talk about your little cookie cutter Mickey Mouse organization you run up there in the Midwest. Anyway, yes, I
Not
said
just
what
the
I said.
Midwest anymore.
I
It's
chose violence today.
cross-continent. It's
It is. Yeah, that's true.
transcontinental.
Well, if you want it, never mind. I'm not going to get into the weeds. So I like what Carolina's put together over the last couple of weeks going into the end of the season. I think they've got enough to get ahead. And I think Lenore Sellers, like you said, Wes, will end up being the kind of question mark of which way this is going to break. If he comes out firing, I like Sokar's chances. If he struggles, then they're not going to get it done. But I think he's going to be focused. I think he gets it done. So I like South Carolina here 2017.